So most of us might have a lot of friends, some of us not so many. But at one point, I feel like everyone we met was a stranger to us. And I have a quote from a German proverb. It stated, "Friendship is a plant that must often water." And just to give a better explanation of this, is that in order to become friends, I feel like both people have to put in an effort to get closer to each other, get to know one another. And I couldn't agree with this quote more. And I have three really close friends. One of them is Tony, another is Larry, and then another is Esther. And Tony and Larry they were friends before I got to know them, but then I met them through church. And I didn't think I would be as close as I am now. But they were complete strangers to me. And through retreats, through prayer, through talking with each other, sharing, hanging out, eating together, just pretty much doing everything in fellowship, they became like the brothers I've never had. And also, Esther is another friend that I've met during my art academy years, back in 10th grade. And same thing, working on projects together, talking, hanging out, and just having fellowship again. We became really close friends, and she's also like the sister that I've never had. But this quote, I don't think this quote just refers to friendship. I think it also refers to relationships and marriage as well, in the sense that not both people have to put in an effort. Husband and wife, you have to water the plant in order to grow. You have to talk to each other, you have to spend time together, you have to get to know each other. And that's one way that you can broaden the relationship, per se. And I think also that in order to do that, you're gonna have to spend time, you're gonna need to, once again, do things together instead of being single, instead of just trying to do everything alone. And this German proverb really does define what friendship and what relationships are all about. And this whole time that I've been talking, I think I stressed that a lot, that friendship isn't just two people meeting, but it's fellowship, it's talking together, and basically doing everything together as one.
Why don't you say it louder?
Do you?
Yeah, why don't we just say it? Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Anyway, so, sarcasm.
Yeah, later.
All right, Stephen, I thought that you came up with an interesting quote to use as your attention device, and I thought it transitioned well to the quote that you're using as the topic. That worked pretty effectively. You have a very clear statement of your point of view and your purpose. I thought at first that the three friends were going to be the structure of your speech. I thought that we were going to get a supporting point based on the first person, a supporting point based on the second person, a supporting point based on the third person. Turns out that's not the case at all. All three of them fit in your first supporting point, and I had no idea what that point was about. I guess it's about a particular kind of friendship. And then you showed up, the kind of the romantic relationship in the second point, and that was a complete surprise given what you'd set up before. So there's not really a preview at the beginning of the speech, and so it's a little bit hard to follow your path, and it felt sort of like you just kind of went off on a tangent, even though it's related to the subject. It felt so different from what you had been talking about before that it feels like it's an add-on there. Presentation issues, I think your voice projects okay. You could probably be a little bit more emphatic and lively with your voice, but you did okay. It flowed together pretty well, although there were a couple of spots where there's a little bit of hesitation, mostly transitions. Your gestures, you had some good indicators, but I think that's where all of your anxiety was coming out in your hands. I think when you watch back, you'll see a couple of spots where you're kind of doing some things with your hands. Not quite hand-wringing, but almost like that. It's trading off what you're doing with your fingers, that sort of thing. So it's just nervous energy is coming out in your hands. And sometimes they are indicators. Sometimes you're emphasizing a point, like doing a gesture like that. And then sometimes it's just, let's get the energy out, and your hands are moving for no particular purpose or reason. So that seemed to be a little bit problematic. Your eye contact, especially at the first half of the speech, you're looking to the sky for inspiration an awful lot. It's like, oh, I've got my notes printed on the ceiling, and if I look up there, I'll see them. You know that that's not the case. You just need to talk to us a little bit more. I appreciated you coming back to the topic at the end of the speech, though, and kind of reminding us the point that you were trying to make. I thought that worked pretty well. Thank you.